The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass, Season 2, Episode 5, if I'm remembering right. Holy crap. We are past the halfway point already. Hello, everyone. I, as always, am Maddox, your sometimes storyteller, sometimes creator of good drama, and I will be, running the game. Allow me to pass the torch on to the rest of my cast for introductions.
All right, I am Mama McStabber, and I'm playing Priscilla Rowland, who is known as Esmeralda, the Aishu.
I'm Evie Eternal, and I'm playing Melody Rockwell, also known as Lady Embra, the Shade.
Hi, I'm Kosikor, or Unconscious Celestial, and I'm playing Eva Oakley, Very, the Satyr.
Dear Agony! I'm Judy Von Ish playing Honey Badger Swift, the Red Cap!
Okay. I am Ravnos Archon, and I'll be playing Oscar Holst, also known as Sir Ridari the Troll.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'm playing Blair or Ace, and I'm a Clericon.
And when last we left off, our dear Notley,
Notley, wow.
You know me, descended back into the underground with the same guide as before, and came upon a library run by Slua. Upon entering, they realized, oh, this place is enormous and a freehold on top of that. And aside from a couple sections you weren't allowed to go, you were allowed mostly free access. So you all got some decent information. Then navigating back through the underground took a little bit of time, but not a whole lot because you have an experienced guide. And you were all able to leave without incident. But now I believe we're starting about 4 days afterwards. At a house owned and lived in by a Tragos. Inside, we find, along with some of the Tragos members, our dear Vrevari, Esmeralda, and Ace, all joined for socialization.
Thank you for inviting us, Bray.
No problem. That was so fun.
It was a blast, and it looked like the blast followed you.
Oh.
Oh,
I think I was
Yeah.
spinning at that time. I don't remember seeing that.
Okay. Pause the conversation. Going over to that. That was so cool seeing you. Like,
Bound up and hanging from the ceiling? Yeah.
yeah, I haven't done that yet. What was it? Was that good? Like, was it fun?
As a service, it actually was good. You know me. I don't want to hit people. I don't want people hitting me. That's not a thing. But it at first, like I was like super like almost panicky with it because I don't like being restricted. I don't like any of that. But I will say that it helped me get out of my head. So it was good, but I can't say it's something I'll do regularly. But it was interesting.
Good. That's good. I'm glad you got to try it.
Not is over in the corner, just sitting on a beanbag chair and just sort of casually painting something. But she looks up. I used to be good with the shibari knots, but I've fallen so out of practice lately.
You should come with me next time.
Yeah, I was going to say
Maybe.
that can be fixed.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but I'm also busy. I may be featured in a gallery soon, so I want to do it right.
Oh, congratulations.
Did you hear back?
I did. I'm allowed to offer 2 paintings for the display for now. And
Oh, that's so
then they
exciting.
said if it does well and people seem to appreciate it, they said that they'll call me back and start asking for more. And I think I also am gonna be selling one of my the Rockies during like a sunset sort of paintings, the ones I do when I'm not really wanting to paint. But I think a coffee shop wants to buy one from me. So I'm gonna try that too.
Oh, that's great.
Did you have fun, Ace?
Of course.
Good.
I mean, I can't really think of anything specific to say because of everything. But yes, I had fun.
I'm glad.
So we're all going again. Well, do you want to get more out of your head? You said you don't do that very often, but there are other things.
I'm sure there are. No, if you guys do it again, I don't know. Maybe talk to Ember. She might be down.
Maybe.
I don't see that for some reason, but I could be wrong.
Well, if not, Bella might.
Don't judge a book by their cover. Look at me, okay? And my frilly aprons.
Do you think she would bring the sword?
Yes, I guarantee she would.
Remy steps in from the kitchen with bowls running up his arms. All right, everyone just take one. I'm not passing this shit out.
S does.
And it's a bowl of what looks to be fried rice with your choice of protein.
Oh, perfect.
Eva takes a bowl, just kind of like sits in another beanbag chair and just kind of like squishes down.
I realized I was on a bit of a Mexican kick, so I thought I'd switch it up.
And S takes a bite and says, "It's really good."
Ace is like scarfing it down. I'm starving.
It's really good, too.
So what do you have going on today, Vray?
I don't know. I think I'm not quite comfortable going back to the bakery yet, but they've got it undercover there, so they're doing okay. I was thinking I might go and check, but
Is there anything we can do for you?
Yeah, you can't let
Me?
him make you hide away.
I'm I'm doing a lot better. The Trigos has really come around me, and everyone's really been supportive, so that's good. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going and hanging out with Radari later.
Oh,
Yeah, something about like chopping, I think. Furniture, maybe? I don't know.
he needs you to help him buy furniture.
Maybe?
Can't do it himself. Well, he could. He just wouldn't come home with anything.
No, he wouldn't. He totally wouldn't. He's like, this is fine. And that's it. Oh, that silly old troll. But yes, awesome. That should be fun. You know what? Actually, send me pics of whatever y'all buy. Actually, you know what? I think Ember should go with y'all. I do, because she would be like really good at that too. And it gives y'all a chance to get to know her.
I can ask her about the sword.
You can. Absolutely.
And you clearly have to tell us the answer.
Yes. I need that story.
Okay. I'll try. I mean, I'll try.
Well, I have to go meet with Aggie today. Ace, I would love for you to join me.
And I would love to come. There's something actually I kind of want to talk to you about.
Oh.
Which I can talk with you here for A too. It's not private, but I just more needed time with her.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you can ride with and we can go. But yeah, let me actually, because actually I want Bella there too. Let me call Ember real quick. So she's going to ring up Ember.
All right. It'll probably ring a couple times, but I'll pick up. Hello?
Ember, it's Esmeralda.
Hey, Esmeralda. Nice to hear from you. What's going on?
Yeah, I was wondering if you would like to assist Vray and Radari. Seems like he needs some assistance buying some furniture for his place.
I would love to.
Oh.
I'm a huge fan of interior decorating.
Excellent. I just somehow knew you would be. So I was wondering, is Bella possibly available? I'd like to have her meet me at Aggie's.
Oh, yes, of course. And she'll quickly talk to Bella. Bella, are you busy for today? I might have something for you.
She real quick takes out her Android phone and like flicks through some things. I should be able to swing it.
Wonderful. Yes, she's quite available today, so
Awesome.
perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Where are you? Oh, she said, hold on just a second. Ray, where are y'all going shopping?
A well-known Swedish box store.
Okay, so Ember, they're going to the IKEA.
Wonderful. Hey, don't knock it. It's cheap.
Hey, you know, it works.
It's also a fucking warehouse.
It's a warehouse. Yeah.
The Denver IKEA is
huge.
enormous. As someone who's gotten lost in it many times.
So I guess you can just meet them there. In
Wonderful.
What, Ray, about an hour? About an hour, okay?
All right, I'll see them then.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
Thanks, bye. And she hangs up. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we can go if you're
Hold
done.
on. Before we go, Ray, you know I'm nosy. What did you research at the library?
Couple things. So I was really curious about the ring that I got. I'm not very familiar with how miracle items work. So I had looked up that and what it could do for me, or if I have to figure that out. And one Morancy.
Isn't that forbidden?
I don't think so.
Huh.
We're on Sealy. Do we care?
True. Interesting.
Is it forbidden for Sealy? I
I don't know. I thought my grandfather once told me that certain arts are not. I don't know. Things could have changed.
So I figured I'm getting more proficient in it, and I want to help. I want to help Radari. So
That's nice. Truly.
I feel like he might have a key part in what's going on, or at least his memory.
yeah, unlocking something might help for everybody.
Just be careful. It seems like when he remembers, it brings him pain.
None of them would have House Gwydion. None of them would have left without a fight. I researched some strategy trying to figure out what my mother had planned.
So the fact that they just up and left is not characteristic.
No. And so maybe his memory has something to do with that. His name was listed, honestly.
Oh.
But it was wiped out a little bit. So I don't know.
Wiped out?
It was blurry. Could have just been time, poor maintenance, but is anything really coincidence for us?
No, never.
But I guess my thought process along this line is if they were threatened by immense pain or whatever happened to him, that threat would have probably made them leave pretty quickly. Unless his own house did it to him. Like I said, it was removed from the list.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Without looking up, Not mutters, man, you guys just get into deeper and deeper shit.
Tell me about it.
You have my sympathy, for what it's worth.
All right. I looked into what they had on my kith. I needed to know if my grandfather had relations with them and shared any stories. They regarded him very highly. I also studied up on Nafandi. And it seems that the best action is to try to get the mages to deal with it themselves. So I have informed the other mage I know of the situation and told him to alert his superiors because it's out of hand. Also, I am not going to just sit around and expect mages to actually do shit about it. I'm talking to Aggie because I had Honey put a bug in her ear that I need something made. And she wants to talk to me about it. I want a containment device for this Nafandi so that we can deal with it when the mages fail to.
Because wouldn't that just be the thing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they say that they're going to go after him or whatever, but then
The
next
last
thing
one
you
that
know-
did, literally, I heard her death on the phone.
Well, not just that, but he comes to your doorstep. What, are
Leave
they just
shit.
gonna,
No camera picks him up.
are they just gonna camp your house?
Yeah,
That doesn't,
exactly.
what?
And he'll show up if they're there. And as soon as they leave, he'll do it again.
Unless they're working with him.
Exactly. Which I doubt. Supposedly these are the like bad guys of mages. You know? So literally all they're focused on is like destruction and torture and evil shit. So great. Yeah, that's my stalker. That's who's obsessed with me. Fabulous. Yeah.
And we can talk about this more later too.
Yeah.
But just be careful of how intense you go with it. I'm sure you're upset. I know you are. The intense negative emotions, not from you, but from everything, is part of why the dreaming is screaming. That pain without that balance. So just don't overdo it and cause more pain.
I'm trying not to, Ace. I'm really trying not to.
I understand. And I do what you have to do.
Yeah.
I get that.
I just want to make sure.
Saying, I know you're also concerned with that.
Right. I mean, I don't feel safe in my own home. This is not okay. And literally, I just want to make sure that there's something that can be done if those that are supposed to handle it fail. I am not going to do something so reckless that it's dangerous.
I just didn't know if you're going the torture route.
No, not at all. That would not be for me, no. But he has to be neutralized. He has to be dealt with. Because this only has one end if he doesn't. He's going to end up killing me. So anyway, I studied that. It appears that some of our arts will actually work against him. I want to talk to Aggie about that, because if there's some way to either incorporate the arts into the device or have other, somehow. I'm asked for Bella. She's got a brilliant fucking mind on her. I'm also going to ask Vincent and Doug to join us over there, and I'm going to get Honey, because all of y'all think differently than I do, and even differently than Aggie does. So all of y'all can contribute, and maybe we can come up with some kind of brainstorm for this. That's what I'm trying to get after here. Because I'm kind of lost, Ace. And I hate being fucking lost. I'm never fucking lost. So, yeah.
I can't do much other than help you come up with ideas, but you're also more than welcome to stay with me. Given that my proximity to very high level nobility does afford some benefits.
I appreciate that, and I will seriously consider it. Thank you. Also, I found out from someone that Shelby's brother is a vampire tied to an organization called the Sabbat. And I studied up on them. And basically, stakes paralyze them but don't kill. All the, stories that are like in movies and stuff, crosses, garlic, running water, that kind of stuff, that's hit or miss. Fire is a neutralizer for sure. So, yeah. I don't know, there wasn't a whole lot on them, but that was what I could get. Just in case that becomes a problem too. Because if Shelby got offed, who knows how this brother is going to react.
Speaking of weapons, I did also look into the assassination attempt on the king. I don't know if that's the group's priority, but I did look into possibilities.
Did you find out anything?
So I didn't fully comprehend the effects of cold iron. Fully. They will destroy your soul. No coming back. If they kill you with it. None at all. So the fact that they didn't use cold iron means that could mean that either they cared to some extent about the king and didn't want that just out of the way temporarily, or B, that it's not the real threat, that it's the distraction.
A witness to the attempt showed up on Honey's doorstep. That's why she called us all over the other day. That witness said it was a Cluricon, had a passing, vague resemblance to me. Half-shaved, pink hair. And that she stabbed him with a blade, a dagger of sorts. Didn't appear to be cold iron. But, of course, everyone there in the court tried to get her. And she unleashed Wayfair to get out. The dagger went with her. It's a treasure. I also know that the wound is not able to be healed by spring. I actually have an idea, and I'm going to tell Vincent about it as soon as I can get a word with him. There are things in the dreaming that might be able to help. Places my grandfather took me as a child. So,
I do think that you were right before about that not being the true focus of what's going on here. The Dantean wasn't, and that was a ploy of some sort. Everyone was focused on that. We were focused on that. And then my mother was doing something in the background.
mm-hmm.
So it's not unheard of that she would use political figures of some sort to cause that. In fact, that's what we're known for. I'll be honest. So it's probably to pull everyone's distraction away.
Yeah.
Or attention.
Yeah.
So that leaves what are we supposed to be looking at?
Her. She can't do things under the table if this table is illuminated.
Also, whatever's going on with the dreaming.
Yeah.
That's...
Oh, it's even got the dragon all stirred up.
There's missing people, yeah?
Yeah. I've heard that some she were also missing. Not...
There's also...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, there's also now been reported another disappearance.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, no bodies are turning up. They're just gone.
Yeah. So what I wonder if it's that harsh, whatever's happened to them, who knows, whatever could be happening to them, if that's causing the dreaming, that harsh emotion, that high banality, if it's directly feeding into it. What someone would get from that, I don't entirely know. That might just be an unintended side effect.
Or it's intentional. It could possibly be the machinations of Thalain. They are here to herald the endless winter.
Esmeralda, how much perception empathy do you have again?
I'm pretty stacked in it.
You said Thalain and not twitched for a second.
Mm-hmm. They come, the Fomorians come, endless winter comes. And look what we've seen so far. Well, let's not keep Aggie waiting. You know she's testy as fuck as is.
That's the fun part of it, though.
And I'm going to text Honey and ask her to meet me at Aggie's. And I will also text Vincent to find out if him and Doug can meet me at the Best Inn.
It says, we can. Please don't be worried when I get there.
And she responds, no promises.
Hug.
And he sends back an ellipses.
Eva hugs E and Ace before they leave.
Yeah.
Not's also going to stop you, Vray, just before you guys get to the front door. Do you need a drink?
Probably not right now.
She reaches into her back pocket of her jeans and takes out a flask. Just take it with you.
Okay, thank you.
It's not the good stuff. We have to restock still from the party. It's hard to find a brewmaster so quickly, but it is strong. At least a little, you know. Nothing like some of the real tough satyrs would drink, but I like it.
Well, I don't consider myself a tough satyr, so.
Right, says the girl who goes to those clubs and performs certain acts.
Hush you. I'll see you later.
She gives you a hug and then whispers in your ear, not tough my ass, and then goes back to her painting.
And as we're leaving and getting in the car, we pull away. S looks over at Ace and says, what do you want to ask me about?
I need your help with my sister.
What's wrong?
She doesn't believe in magic.
How old is she?
She's 12, thereabouts.
Or was she 8? I thought she was 8.
I thought she was 12. Hold on. I wrote down. She's 8. I wrote it down.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I was like, that's it. 12, maybe she doesn't believe in magic. But yeah.
No, she's 8. She's 8.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that is a age that sometimes they start, like they don't believe in Santa Claus anymore and all that stuff. But yeah, have you noticed, does she feel really banal to you?
It's creeping. It's not there yet, but it's definitely creeping. Everybody's concerned.
I should also point out, just for general changeling knowledge, children are some of the least banal things in existence.
Yeah, that's why.
So even the ones that are skeptics usually won't start displaying high banality until they are actually physically older and their brain has changed, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's really concerning. Send me a text when you can, when you get a spare moment, to tell me the different things that she does seem interested in. I will find some tales that will maybe inspire her to think about it creatively.
She likes fish.
Excellent. I know just the story.
Also, if you know, that was the last thing I researched, was how to help her. Being around high sources of glamour is one. So, I don't know, maybe we should kidnap her and put her in a freehold for a bit. The other is interactions with House Liam. I don't know anyone, but if you can keep an ear out.
I'll ask around. I'll ask around. Hell, they might be more rare here than Aishu are.
There aren't any in Denver.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Any known ones, anyway. You never know who's
Yeah,
hiding,
and she's so young, it's not like we could hop her off on a trip somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, we could, absolutely. I am perfectly okay kidnapping my sister from my mother. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I'm thrilled with the concept.
Okay.
Oh, God, I love Changeling.
Well, maybe. Yeah, I'll look into that. But yes, let's try. Because she isn't showing any signs. She's never really shown any signs of possibly crystallizing, has she?
No, but
Sometimes with Kanane, my family, literally, my grandmother was Kanane. My grandfather had to invest a bit in her from time to time to keep her enchanted. It can be done. But it does have to be maintained. Children, though, should generate glamour on their own. So let me try to inspire her first.
yeah. And I mean, it's just everybody else in the family. Everybody has. And she's surrounded by so much of it.
She's also
Especially since
surrounded.
She's the youngest.
She's also surrounded, no offense to you, Ace, you're the best of the fucking bunch, by a bunch of fucking conniving manipulators.
Alan.
That'll drag anybody down.
Which is why they asked me for my help, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, of course.
She's been closest to me. But
Mm-hmm.
there was something I didn't want to ask in front of everybody. Is there any chance the woman in Arizona could have been your mother?
Why do you ask that?
You said she looked like you.
My mother? My grandfather told me when I was 5 years old that my parents died in a car accident. He was doing a kindness to me. I later found out it wasn't a car accident. It was a violent carjacking.
I didn't know. That's why I didn't want to mention it in front of everybody. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I crystallized right after their funeral. It better not be my mother. Because then my dad slept with a fucking Gloricon and made me, and that should not have happened.
My brother's a red cat.
I'm just saying, no, I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened as far as me being what I am. I'm saying my dad, as far as I'm aware, loved my mother and should not have cheated on her. Yeah.
You know, it can just be random now, I mean. But anyways, I just had to ask.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hope nobody's fucking investigating me. Because, you know, if they think it's me, hello, that's the last fucking thing I need.
It'd be at this point that you would arrive at the best inn.
Mm-hmm.
To which you go through the whole rigmarole of the safety thing, et cetera, et cetera. Steel-toed boots, hard hats, the whole shebang. And then you are walked back. No one escorts you this time. You guys have all been there enough.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason that Oscar, are you going to the Aggie meeting? Sorry.
No,
you're
no.
going
He's
shopping.
going shopping.
Jesus.
It is me, Honey, Ace. Then it's going to be Bella, Vincent, and Doug.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get clear, is which characters I needed to bring.
There you go.
Okay. You all arrive. You walk up to the blast doors. A knocker just real quick, like, hits a call button, like, hey, you got some guests, to which you hear, fuck, and then the doors open. And
as the door opens, she said, you asked me to come.
And you see that she's actually just like holding her thumb in her mouth, and there's a wrench on the floor and a like thing just on a work table. Oh no, I wasn't cursing for you. I just pinched myself.
All right. You all right?
It's gonna be a blood blister. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Come in, sit down, not on the workbenches. And she snaps a few times, and some seating is provided via mechanical arms.
Mm-hmm. Ez takes a seat. So, I know Honey here, she mentioned to you my situation, and I need some service.
What you got?
Yeah, I got a really bad mage. Obsessed with me.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
That sounds shitty.
Yeah, real shitty. He can obviously affect material things.
In what way?
He tends to turn them into gold, and it has traces like a scent or something of ink to it.
That's an odd combination of things.
And he never gets picked up on camera. Never.
You know why, right?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's bending light in some way.
Well, yeah, it's because mages cheat.
Yeah, that too. Because they're fucking bastards that have more power than they deserve.
I'll admit, I haven't killed a lot of mages, so I'd be a bit rusty.
Oh, that's also, why I brought friends. Because all these beautiful brains here think a little differently than you or I.
You saying I can't figure this out on my own?
No, I'm saying I think it's going to take a group think on this.
All right, that's actually fair. Well, she wheels her chair over and grabs what looks like a shop pencil, one of the flat ones, and a very weathered old notepad, and just rolls back. All right. Gold, you said?
Yeah, he even turned another mage's blood into gold.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, I got to hear that on the phone a few nights back, and yeah, that was great.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, hang up next time.
Yeah, that's why I changed my phone for y'all. Yeah, that's why I changed it, because the stalker got my number. Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Fuck, I don't. The rest of you got anything? Any ideas? Or how about this? Let's go around. Don't need to say Kith, that's fucking apparent. But tell me what you can do in a general sense. What sort of arts have you learned or picked up? That might be a good place to start. We can start with you. Spade? No, Ace, that's your name.
I'm a namer.
Her eyebrow very slowly raises.
That's very useful. I did some research on it, and it seems like naming, chicanery, sovereign, and even some of my own specialty tailcraft could possibly affect it.
Anything that can hit humans rather well is a good thing to use against a mage. I feel like there's some that...
Naming is pretty limitless with what it can do. That is, in fact, what it is meant to do is change and recognize the innate structure that is the strength of a name.
I will let you in on something, as I have met a couple namers. Never think that it is your ultimate weapon.
True.
It is the easiest way for that art specifically to screw you, and screw you in a very unpleasant way.
Oh, absolutely.
So all I can say is be fucking careful.
It's like wishing with a genie.
No, a
That's
genie would be kinder.
Fair enough.
Oh, and I don't know if you have a naming teacher or anything, but I'll just share some free advice. Don't ever unleash that shit. Ever. I don't care how desperate the situation is. You probably have other arts.
I mean, now I almost just want to try.
No, we don't need the fabric of reality bending. It's hard enough to iron it back out.
Are you sure, Aggie?
Yes, I am very fucking sure, you Irish goodbye. Now sit down.
Ace blows her a kiss and then sits down.
She rolls her eyes as she shifts her attention over to Honey. All right, how about you?
Got one good thing.
Doesn't matter about how good it is. I want to know all of it.
No, there's only one good thing I got, is what I'm telling you.
Oh, you only... Huh.
I don't get I got Dragon's Ire, dude. I mean, sure, I got Legendman, Wayfarer, and Spring, but they're only in one particular field. Let's just say, if I want to get mastery in this one, in Dragon's Ire, I gotta go to the Union Station and talk to a dragon.
Oh. Yeah.
So, let's just say this. Holly Strike.
Or
what I
the
got.
dreaming.
There are dragons in the dreaming, but how far you have to go to get to one is anyone's fucking guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter if you only have like a little bit of mastery in any of them. Any amount of power can be utilized. And I'll let you all in on a small little knocker trade. Not secret exactly. People know about it. We have our own art for making shit. No, I'm not telling you the name. And no, none of you are allowed to learn it.
I know the name already. My uncle told me when I was a kid.
She looks up at you, Honey, and gives like a go on.
Yeah, I know that shit already. It's fine. No, Holly Strike is the best and ultimate thing I got for you. That shit is an elder blast full of power to the point where I will skin you fucking alive. I've
been hit by it once.
Yeah, you know what I can do with it.
Yeah, she had a walking cane in the Accordance War at one point. He hucked it at me like a javelin, and then Holly Strike was added on top. My shoulder,
like a bitch, didn't it?
It was not fun. They had to sort of reattach a joint at my shoulder. Painful
I'll put
stuff.
it to you this way. If I gotta unleash that shit on a certain fucking mage, do it.
Careful. That art especially loves to destroy things if it's unleashed.
That's the point.
Yeah, but more things than you want.
That's why you put everyone else in the out of the cone of radius.
It sounds like you're really just against unleashing.
Ace,
of course she is.
If you could roll me dexterity athletics, please.
My God.
We use a willpower.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I'm not chucking a wrench. I will say that flat out.
Normal successes?
Yes, just at diff 6, nothing fancy.
I am going to also try to intervene on whatever is about to happen here.
That's a 1 success because I botched it. Well, I didn't botch it. I got a 1 and a 9, so it canceled. But I used the willpower, so it's 1.
Because I abhor violence.
First of all, you're in a knocker's workshop. Good luck avoiding it.
I
know. Secondly, how about you also roll me dexterity athletics at 1 difficulty higher, please?
And what was the difficulty?
Diff 7, so yours will be, yours is 7 because Ace's was 6.
Does Honey just need to turn around and grab them and pull them out of the way?
It's not that serious, I'll be honest.
I will spend a willpower for a success.
Okay.
I will say that Ace, like while Honey was talking, Ace whispered to Ez, and we can assume that Aggie heard this, and this is probably possibly also why she's upset. Ace whispers, I bet I can figure out the name.
That's 4 successes.
Okay, S, you successfully catch the pencil that was hucked at Ace's forehead.
I literally snatch it midair.
And you guys didn't see Aggie move. She's just suddenly standing there like she just threw something. And then she reaches and slaps her hand and pulls a different pencil and goes back to writing.
And Ez puts the pencil in her bag.
Great. Add to your inventory one shop pencil.
Exactly.
For as useful as that's going to be.
Found a vampire, pretty useful.
It can work as a stake.
So can a drumstick if you shove hard enough.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, you know what would have been really funny with this? I kind of have to do this. So she's looking at Ace because she threw the pencil. She looks away. Ace is going to twinkling of an eye behind her, and just give her a hug.
Oh, God.
I should say, I will allow you the opportunity to try this, but you are in a room with more than just one person. And whether they are your allies or not, their observation still counts.
Yeah.
Fine,
So,
okay.
no, hold on. If you would like, you can roll me Dexterity Stealth difficulty 7. I recommend you get at least 2 successes on this.
No, not going to do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's the problem with the leprechaun escape tactic. You have to be fully unobserved for it to work.
Yeah. Worth a shot.
It will have its day, I'm sure. And she looks up as the other 3 hadn't arrived yet, but Aggie wanted to get started.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Bella and Doug walking on either side of Vincent, and Doug is supporting Vincent as he limps in. Vincent has a bandage over his head, a couple stitches on the corner of his bottom lip. He has a few bruises in places and his left arm in a sling. And Doug is holding him and shouldering him and helping him walk.
And you expect me to not be worried with you walking in like that?
I knew the worry was going to happen regardless.
Of course you did.
It was more trying to give appropriate warning.
Just have a seat.
And he sits down.
Give Doug a fucking break. Holy shit.
If you see Doug look over and says, it was my day off. I couldn't help him.
We will talk later. Okay, now everyone's here, Aggie.
She also then gets a quick rundown of the arts known between the 3 of them, to which you all learn the following. Bella is a goddamn master of chicanery.
Excellent.
Like she is an illusion goddess. Y'all think you've seen chicanery. Just you wait. But that's the only art that she knows.
Okay.
But she knows it fairly hot. For Lord Vincent, he has a smattering of sovereign, most she do, but his primary focus seems to be in pyretics. And then lastly with Doug knows spring, Doug knows a tiny bit of summer, and also a tiny bit of one that he says he will not share.
I think I know it.
He sort of had to facilitate with Vincent a little bit to explain it. Like he was whispering a lot, but the information is still provided as honestly as you can hope for.
And of course, well, as is obvious what I would have, I also am relatively skilled with navigation and finding ways. I have an attunement to the natural world and its elements. And I'm learning, Spring.
To which you see Doug off in the corner just give a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
To which Aggie acknowledges, like, oh. And now, with the base information provided, Aggie gets to make a certain roll.
Okay. And also, one thing she will tell Aggie as she is starting to really process this, she says, also, it seems to me, based on my interactions with more, I'm going to use quotes here, friendly mages, that they cannot fully conceptualize nor utilize glamour.
That makes sense. They're far too narrow-minded.
Exactly.
Oh, our magic only works one way, dipshits.
Yeah. So,
I'll admit, the couple I've killed, most of them were fairly inexperienced. One wasn't, but that was a lucky shot. All right, now I get to make her intelligence crafts roll.
mm-hmm.
All right. Excellent. Aggie is looking over. You see her occasionally like roll over to like a small laptop in a corner and type something on it, and then roll over and open a file cabinet and look through some like blueprints. And she does seem to be thinking and conceptualizing as best she can with the information you guys have provided her. And then she stops halfway to another section of her workshop and just stares slightly down at the floor. Gold. 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 And she looks up at all of you. Hold on. And she bolts out of her workshop and down the hall.
Okay.
To which you hear the occasional, fuck, watch where you're going, Aggie. And you see Vincent and Doug look at each other, and then Vincent just goes, oh, glad to see she's in high spirits.
I've given her a challenge.
Most knockers do appreciate that, as well as a hefty commission.
We'll see what she charges for it.
She probably will.
We'll see.
In the meantime, how are all of you doing?
Busy at court.
I've seen you around. My
Here and there.
sympathies.
Yeah, they fly me out of state sometimes too.
I've heard you've been pulled in for various sanings as well.
Yeah.
Have there been a lot? Ace, you can count to maybe a handful in total. Not a whole lot, but enough for you to remember them.
Yeah, like there hasn't really been a lot, but it's been pretty regular, I'd say. Right?
That probably is also them trying to clean up the mess from all those who crystallized, the ones that the crystallization fully took anyways.
I mean, there also haven't really been many neighbors.
Also entirely true. I'll admit I have never met one before. So the fact that you are here in this city is interesting. He shifts in his chair and winces. And it'd be about at this point that you then hear as Aggie comes running back in with a wooden crate that she's carrying barehanded by herself, that she then runs towards the back of the shop and just drops it, and it thunks onto the ground. She then grabs a crowbar and starts prying it open.
What you got, Aggie?
She hucks the lid off. You see that it just goes tumbling further into the workshop. And then she reaches down and holds out a bar of very, very shiny, bright-looking gold.
Is that actually gold?
She holds it out to you.
S is going to take it.
If it's gold, it's the most vibrant gold you've ever seen. It's really shiny, really bright, really eye-catching and attractive.
Holding it this close, does she feel anything off of it?
It's chimerical.
Hmm.
And she thumbs back at the box. We got a whole more of it. Ladies, gentlemen, others, allow me to introduce you to a Colorado staple, pyrite, also colloquially known as
Fool's Gold.
Fool's Gold. So,
and I set it on the bench in front of us.
So, my idea, build a cage out of this. He will try to turn it into gold, and I'm sure control it, because usually mages are chodes. And, well, the gold will trick him into thinking that it's turned into gold.
But it's chimerical.
Because it fools people all the time.
Right. It's chimerical fool's gold.
So I can get started on the cage. I can probably build it. Cage to hold a mage, gold, ink. Is this mage like aggressive or kind of a pussy?
I would love to tell you, the dude never shows his fucking face. He just likes to leave shit on my front porch and stalk me.
Gotcha, kind of a pussy. Okay.
He did kill someone, though.
He did kill someone after I called him a coward. I wrote it out in all the gold shit in my lawn.
Well, yeah, I can get a cage easily. One that's it's going to be a bit big, probably, but it should still be enough to contain him. Like, there's not going to be bars on this shit. It'll be more secure than that.
Awesome.
Yes.
The problem, the thing's just going to be how we're going to get him in it.
Oh, no, I can probably help with that, too.
Oh, awesome.
And she points at Honey. Yeah.
Here's an idea. But the fool's gold, can you turn around and make the illusion he gets stripped of his powers? Kind of like how, when we lose everything, we go into the mist, we forget who the fuck we are. Is there some kind of way with the mage where they can, it's not that forget who they are, but feel like they got stripped and disconnected from their power with the fool's gold? Therefore, going into the cage, he'd actually think that he was getting more power or trying to reconnect himself into it?
I mean, maybe. I'm a knocker, not a miracle worker.
No, but you're a fucking knocker that has a lot of ways
short.
I mean, we could give him a nickname temporarily.
Ooh.
That wouldn't hurt.
Wouldn't work. It could work indefinitely. It is very unlikely to work indefinitely.
If you just call him something like weak or pathetic, that would probably do it.
Phrasing, though.
Up to you. You're the namer.
But you were just telling me how phrasing mattered so much. That could be physical strength.
Entirely fair.
But we can come up with something, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm going to do another quick roll for her. Which she succeeds with 1 success. Scraping by is still succeeding. Ooh, she turns and points at Bella. You, young lady. Could I have a drop of your blood? Certainly. And she reaches into she still has her usual black sundress, but she is now also accompanied by a clutch. That's what it's called. It's a very small black clutch that sits on her left side as well. It also looks very aged and repaired with love. She opens it and then takes out a very wicked, sharp-looking sewing needle. When do you need it? Whoa, 1 second. She thumbs through a drawer and then takes out what looks like a small vial just in here. Ouch.
What if
And
we
she taps it
made
into the bottle.
like a sleeping or like an incapacitated copy of Ez in the cage, so he has more reason to go in? So I can create an effigy. Stop.
That would definitely be some good bait.
That is
And-
excellent bait.
And not put her ass in actual danger.
I would appreciate that because, I've kind of felt like I've been in enough of that lately.
You see Aggie walk over with the vial, not corked or anything yet. She takes a small solution in a squeeze bottle and pours it in, then corks it and shakes it. And you watch as the Slua blood mixes with the solution and turns for a second to all these horrific black tendrily shadows in the mix. And then in a explosion where it just sort of goes out from itself, it then turns and is a slightly bluish black in color. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. Slua can escape a lot of shit. I just had some antithesis solution laying around. So, yeah, now this function means that anything I mix into it, it'll be very hard to escape. I have a very limited supply, but I'm glad it finally came in handy. I've held onto that shit forever. But yeah, I can get started.
Excellent.
Take me a day-ish.
A day. You are
Give or take.
You're amazing.
It's just a cage. You're not asking me to build something crazy like an ornithopter.
No, I'm not. I prefer my own feet anyway.
Hey, they're really great for flying.
I'm sure they are.
For those who wouldn't know, ornithopter is a knocker helicopter, usually designed based off of an animal that can fly, but not always.
Yeah.
But they are usually very big machines that fly, and knockers utilize them a lot.
So, Aggie, what do I owe you for this service?
What do you do for a human living?
I'm a dancer.
And I don't think that would have the budget I'm looking for. You know what? You're an issue. You're going to be traveling soon-ish.
Likely.
All right. How about this? Bring me as much material as you can scavenge or obtain to try to at least balance out what I'm going to be sacrificing with the fool's gold.
I can certainly see to that.
I don't think I'm going to use all my fool's gold, but if you're willing to just get me material to help recoup loss, that should be fine.
Absolutely.
And get it from like a place you can get it from.
Yeah.
I want some issue shit. Let's see what I can do.
I will see what I can do. Most certainly. It should not be a problem. All right.
I think I have a good sort of groundwork that I can lay here. Some of your arts may come in handy later, but I'll contact you as needed for that stuff.
Perfect. You have my number.
Uh-huh. And she's already like back to building
and
shit
S
and
gets
working
up and
with
says,
shit.
I think that's our dismissal.
And Vincent and Doug stand up, and then everyone goes down the hall, essentially. Which I believe to be a fantastic point for a break.
Yes.
As they transition out of the Best Inn and onto their next locations. Thank you all for waiting, and we'll see you in a bit. And welcome back. Hi, everyone. Thank you for rejoining us. We just got done with a whole big logistics meeting for knocker bullshit, which was quite the entertaining romp to witness.
Brilliant.
And now we move over to a building that has an enormous blue stripe across it and very bold yellow lettering. Only 4 letters even. And Radari, Embra, And I'm immediately blanking on who else said they were going to be going on this shopping trip.
Ray. And I would have texted Honey about picking up her uncle to talk to him.
Honey would just respond with a phone number and say, text him yourself.
And before this, I would have texted Rodari and just let him know that Umbra was coming. Just so it's not a surprise.
Okay. S was hoping it would be a surprise.
A single period is my response.
Oh, Frank can totally tell him to blame S. Okay.
My phone doesn't have a screen, so I have to be judicious with my responses.
You all meet up. Rodari, when you offered to pick up her uncle, whose name I'm fucking blanking on. Honey?
I never gave him a name, so just call him asshole. It's fine.
Lucas. His name's Lucas.
Sure, asshole. Got you.
Among knocker circles, you've sort of heard the name Lucas Cog, but you're not sure if it's his actual knocker name or just something people call him. But you all have actually gotten a little ways into the IKEA by this point, following the lovely directional arrows. And you are in a section with chairs.
Yep. And there are,
of course, people walking all around with enormous carts and grabbing all sorts of things.
Not me. I show Ray and Embra, because she's there, the two Polaroids that I took of my apartment. One from the kitchenette angle and one from the front door.
Mm-hmm.
So Madeline told me that I need to get another chair at least for company.
What color are the walls?
I just wanted it white.
Yeah, I think they're just an eggshell white.
Just eggshell white. Okay.
Is there a different color?
Oscar, have you moved in yet?
Yeah, I've been living there for 2 years.
This house. You've lived in this house.
It's an apartment. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So she said I needed a chair for company, and I don't know what she would like. Something comfortable, but also inviting.
A lot of work to do.
It's just a chair.
Maybe 2 chairs or a couch.
A single chair. Single chair is fine.
But if she's sitting and you're not,
that's why the other chair is there. I have a chair.
Oh, there's one. Okay.
Yeah. I just need another one.
A table to place meals on?
No, there's one. If you look at the photograph and I'll grab it and bend it, there's a little folding table right there.
Or maybe like a big dinner or...
No need. I have a second folding table on the other side of the chair.
Oh. Ray just pulls a fan out of her pocket and just starts fanning Embra.
You also see he hasn't said much, but Lucas is very, like, when you picked him up, he was a bit down.
No.
Now he's down, but also a bit like dumbfounded.
Yeah, and I look at him. I'm like, you're not here for chair advice. You're here to tell me about my memory loss and what you can help me with. They're here for the chair, a single chair. And I point to Frey.
Yeah, they have double the attention on your thing. What do you want to know?
I recently learned that there is an art called Ruin that can do things to memories. And every time that I remember, I experience pain. I have a life in the past that I know nothing about.
What sort of pain?
Nosebleeds, voices, mental racking.
What sort of voices?
I don't have conversations. It just berates me.
I don't know a lot about Ruin. It's a Dantean art. But I know it lives up to its name. And you said it was Ruin that caused your whole brain fog.
I don't know. I looked up what could cause brain fog, and Ruin was the low-hanging fruit of that tree.
There's also some pretty decent chicanery, but I don't think it would do things like cause pain. This feels almost like it's outside the bounds of what the art is normally able to do, and more reaching into like the realm of possibility. Was this an unleashing?
I don't know. I can't remember. That's the problem.
And trying to remember is what hurts you. Is that it?
Correct.
He looks around. Are you willing to try so I can see?
Sure. Hold on a second. And I look over at Frey. One chair. Put all of that back. One chair.
Ray is just like writing furiously on like the sheets that you get for like all
the items you want to order.
So, Oscar, did you have a vibe about you that you like? You seem very distant, but is there like something you enjoy looking at or a place you enjoy being?
Oh. My apartment with the one chair that now has to have a second chair.
Okay.
Or the park if I'm working.
The park. Okay, that's wonderful. What is it about the park that you like so much? Do you like the view? Do you like the quiet? Do you like the
fact that there's no one there to ask me questions like this?
Wow, isn't he a ray of sunshine?
Apologies, dear. I don't mean to make you uncomfortable.
You don't.
Well, how about we try a few things and see what you like?
One chair.
If you don't like them, we could always return them.
Go ahead and return them now.
Okay.
So, how many stealth rolls y'all gonna do to try and hide what the extra shit you're getting for him is?
Oh, a lot. Even I have a few ideas.
Okay.
Turn my attention back to Lucas.
He looks up at you. He's fairly short. He has a knocker. And don't worry, I have a pack of Kleenex in my pocket in case anything starts bleeding or some shit. I don't know.
Thanks.
But
very considerate.
Just try to do something that isn't like too deep diving for a memory. See if there's something on the surface. Start there.
Like what I did today, or?
I'd say do your best to think about stuff you know you don't know.
No, I don't know who gave me my title. I don't know how I earned it.
Try that.
I know how I earned
title.
it.
You're noble?
Yeah, technically.
May I ask what rank you are?
A knight? Lord?
My apologies for the rudeness, sir.
No, don't do that.
May I ask which house?
Gwydion.
Oh, at least it's not one of the shitty ones.
That's what I thought. Now, sit down in what looks to be the most comfortable chair.
It's fairly comfortable.
I might take
Sleek.
this chair.
Black design.
Write that down.
And Oscar, how about you give me a willpower roll?
Here we go.
Difficulty 9.
With 6, 7. That makes a difference. Oh, no. I got excited. 2 of them.
Oh, that's actually the threshold I had set.
Oh.
You're in nature. You're certain it's nature. There's pine trees and it sort of looks like a campsite, but there's no camp equipment. There is a surrounding semicircle of nobles, mostly she, but other kith as well. And, sorry, give me one moment. I need to look up a quick name.
I pointed
All
this
right.
chair, and I'm just like, this is the chair I'm going to take.
You are looking up at who you know to be a Gwydian noble. You can't remember who they are, but you remember their face. She, Arcadian, as far as you can tell. Your memory is still a little hazy on certain details, but you have a general picture of them. And then you can tell the memory is moved backwards as you remember rushing forward, grabbing your axe off the ground, and burying it in the skull of a... And for a second, Radar, you swear that you're about to get a nosebleed again. And then, as if a pressure was released, Manticore. You earned your title by slaying a Manticore that was attacking a freehold.
Mm.
And you do not feel your nose bleed. Also, for having a major success on this memory thing, the difficulties have been reduced to 8.
Right.
And the whole time, he's just been focusing on Radar and looking at everything. His eyes, his facial expressions, the way his body is sitting in the chair. Like, Lucas is observing and taking detailed mental notes, it looks like. Because most knockers can do that shit. And then Radare, you just as quickly come back to yourself, for once not in pain after recalling something.
Double over and fall to the ground and just kind of let emotion take over.
You feel a wash of pride and a bit of glee. You were very excited when you were knighted. Well, squired first and then knighted.
I was worried that I had earned this in some despicable manner. And I didn't.
How'd you earn it, sir?
I protected a freehold from a manticore.
Pissy little things. Good on you. That's a fantastic feat to be a noble.
I check my nose to make sure I'm not bleeding.
There's nothing.
I don't know what
You
you
almost
did,
feel a bit refreshed.
but this is not the way it goes.
Sometimes a bit of guided meditation is all you really need.
Noted.
Only I could find a way to get through to her.
I immediately go looking for the box for the chair.
It's right next to the chair there,
Yep,
stacked neatly.
Pick it up and head towards the checkout. We're done here.
Which is a series of lines and arrows which walk you through a good majority of the fucking store.
Get the
before
meatballs.
You get there. Oh yes, actually, as you all arrive at the checkout/food court, fucking IKEA, you do see right like at the first table as you guys are walking in, a red cap.
Oh.
Wearing a simple faded pair of old jeans, good tennis shoes, simple white t-shirt, and a tweed jacket sitting over him. He has a thick, square jaw. He looks to be in his 60s, early 60s. He has very noticeable salt and pepper stubble that has maybe been a few days past when it needs to be shaved. And he is very delicately sticking a fork into a meatball and then just chucking it off the fork like he's flicking it into his mouth and just down his throat. Ace, you especially would know who this is because, well, you're sort of friends in a flirty, weird sort of way with one of his Corby mates. This is probably the first time I think any of you have actually seen Fright.
Oh, this is one of those guys.
And he also has a bag next to him, like he purchased something. But he does look up after flicking the meatball down his throat and see all of you.
Friend of yours?
Not mine.
The jacket looks familiar.
Oh, well, I might as well say hello. I definitely don't have a huge cart full of crap.
You see him reach under the table with his toes and push the remaining chairs out so that they're already pulled out when you guys sit.
I'll stand behind one of the chairs after I pay for my chair.
Well, hello there.
I'll fully admit, my lady, I do not know who you are.
Lady Emma.
I know those two. And he points to Vray and Radari.
By all means.
Mainly because my two idiot friends meet with them a lot, it seems.
Right.
Correct. I love that I'm still remembered.
Are you the one with the frog?
No, that would be Snarl.
All of you look alike to me.
Eva kind of goes through. He's the one with the tweed jackets.
If it helps, all trolls actually do look alike. So there's that.
It's a fair judgment.
I find it harder to differentiate between members of your kith than members of mine. But what the fuck do I know?
I mean, all I see is large mouths.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that's all you see. What are you all doing here? I'm guessing buying furniture, but you could just be here for the delectable food. And he picks up another meatball with his fork and does the same motion again. It's odd. You don't even really see him swallow. They just disappear.
I don't actually eat out a whole lot.
Now,
At restaurants and stuff.
unfortunately, no offense to you, but I know a couple people from that club. Yes, you do. And then he takes a sip of his drink.
Not talking about food, is he?
Ray's whole face just red, like redder than her hair.
And at that, you see him take his tweed jacket and I just made a satyr blush. Oh, that feels good.
I see.
This isn't about like some Sam's Club thing, is it?
Oh, I have a membership to that.
Goodness.
Good store.
We'll
No.
tell you about it later, Oscar. It's not important.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how many of your group that I've heard about was involved, but you got people to stop suspecting us of a bullshit crime that we never committed. So at the very least, you have my appreciation for that. And that extends to your whole group.
We'll pass this on then if you want.
It was a genuine pleasure to meet all of you. I hope to meet more of you in the future. And then with the last meatball, he chucks it down, but also sends the fork down as well. And then he gets up, takes his plate over, turns with his bag, gives you a quick little wave, and then heads out.
No, he didn't eat the plate. What a
He did
miracle.
not.
Impressive, truly. Such restraint from a red cap.
No, thank you for your help. I'm taking my chair and leaving.
There was just a cart of fucking stuff right next to
We're just like kind of like.
But between the two of you, how much resources is this? Just so I can have a general estimate.
So I have two, but I also have a little gift from somebody else in the group. So got a little bit of.
And then
moolah.
Embra, what was yours again?
My own resources aren't particularly strident.
That's okay.
Yeah, so not much in mine. We're being economic about it.
Hey, if you pool and at least have 3 dots of resources between you, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. IKEA is kind of pricey, but depending on where, like what you're getting, and if there's sales, you can be pretty thrifty about it.
So yeah, so we actually have we created this whole idea for what we were going to do. But since Rodari kind of made off with the chair that he desires,
and probably at this point getting into his vehicle and starting to drive home.
Yeah.
I put the chair in my vehicle, but I come back. Do you need help putting this into your cars?
No, it's totally cool.
It's fine. We could use some help, sure.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No, it's the least I can do for your help.
You're too kind.
I have to ask something, Rodari. Do you just help or do you load all of it? And yes, the answer is important in this case.
No, I'll actually load all of it for them in their individual cars.
Okay, then we have to do a quick something here.
No.
It's just the one vehicle, I think. Probably
yeah, you guys probably, I'm guessing, got a lot of shit.
No, we didn't actually.
Not a ton of stuff.
Well, not anything that you're immediately wheeling out. Weren't you also filling out those order forms?
No. That's so you get.
We're taking notes.
Without breaking it down completely. At IKEA, they have little sheets that you write down the numbers of the things that you're interested in. But after Rodari was just like, 1, sure, we were kind of like, okay, and we scaled it back. The cart that we got is mostly just actually just plants and a bench. And then we also grabbed another chair similar to the one that Rodari got because we didn't know he was going to get the chair. So.
Okay, let me just double check one thing then, because this may or may not actually be a thing.
I can't
right.
botch athletic rolls, but that's what you're looking for.
It was not. It was something else. It doesn't quite apply here.
Okay.
But we
yeah.
were trying to do it stealthily.
But yeah, you load everything up for them, shut the trunk, do the send them off with some pats.
I didn't know either of you needed furniture. This was very serendipitous for us.
Oh, yes, very serendipitous. Do you mind if we accompany you back to your apartment to christen the new chair, as it were?
There's too many of us. I only have the one chair.
Oh, no worries. I sit on the ground.
That's rude. There's a restaurant by my place we can meet at once I drop off my chair.
I think we can do that. What about you,
No.
Eva?
Yeah, sure.
Give them directions to the Cosmos Pizza by my place.
All right. As you are setting up a chair and they are doing their best to try and sneakily get more into your apartment, could you give me a willpower roll at difficulty 8, please?
Yeah, this should be different now.
And as per usual, botches still don't fuck with this particular roll.
Oh, wow. The second the difficulty got down, it was like night and day. 4 successes.
Wow.
2 of them were 10s. So I think I would have still made leeway.
You remember a conversation in this apartment. It starts with you saying, "Doesn't this seem like it's already enough?" And there's a response from a feminine voice that says, "Not on your life, blue boy." And then it goes back and forth a little bit about interior design. The woman in question seems to be leaning towards, as you are recalling it, Art Nouveau in terms of design idea. And you seemed, as far as you can recall, to be arguing for something practical. The odd part is you're both just talking, but it feels like she's not sniping, but she's definitely ribbing. Like little half insults here and there that aren't really, they're all very surface level and almost playful from how you can hear it. And when you come,
immediately look around. Yeah, no, I immediately look around like if somebody's there.
And as you look around, you also notice that your apartment's way more furnished than it was the last second you blinked.
Right there.
And you all noticed, and I'm sure like kept an eye on Oscar, but he was just sort of like not really all there, a bit delirious looking for a bit.
Is he all right? He seems to have zipped out a little bit.
It was also enough time for you to load in the plants and furniture and stuff. And you had a knocker who was willing to help assemble furniture for you. So it'll at least be right.
So there's actually not a whole lot more, but to you, obviously, it would look like a whole lot more. Your chair is there. Your chair is there. But closer to like there's like a big bay window or whatever, I don't know, but there's plants and a bench, like a park bench.
3 chairs.
I mean, technically 4. You could fit 2 people on the bench.
Oh, this is dangerously close to party status.
Oh yes, very much.
Jeez, I'd hate to see your parties.
I don't throw parties.
Understandable. Are you all right? You zoned out there for a minute.
I have a memory.
Oh, another one.
Goodness,
I think I shared this with somebody.
you did?
I think
Really? Oh, well, did they have their own roommate or?
it's only the one room. This is a studio. I don't even have a balcony.
Must have been tight quarters, living with a troll in a studio apartment.
She knew I was a troll. She called me
So,
Blue Boy.
so another kiss.
I don't know.
Could also
Did you
be
see-
Canaan or an enchanted human.
Did you see what she looked like?
Disembodied.
You just got the audio, as far as you can remember.
Goodness. I've
Did
been
she
meaning
sound
to. Oh,
familiar?
sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Did she sound familiar?
As familiar as a disembodied voice in my memory.
I had been meaning to sort of sit down and get to know folks. Maybe now would be a decent time. Are you all right?
There are plenty of chairs for everyone. Have a seat.
That there are.
And they're not falling apart anytime soon. I can guarantee that.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much for the help. Really.
It's IKEA furniture. I literally did some of it with my eyes closed.
Seriously impressive stuff.
I'll take
If
the
there's a
knock-
knocker that can't do this in their sleep, they're a pathetic knocker.
take the clothes off of my chair, put it on the floor, and then I sit down.
All right, the next thing y'all need to get him is a dresser.
One thing at a time, dear.
Tomorrow is laundry day. So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I might have in common interests with your Notley, so to speak.
Hmm.
And I was hoping to, well, get to know you a little bit better, the both of you at the very least. I know you're struggling with memories, Oscar, so I don't want to pry too much, of course, but I thought perhaps it could be a good team building exercise if it were.
I am a knight. I don't care for titles. And I'm a troll. That's Frey. She's one of the best bakers I know, and she's a satyr.
Those are good bullet point summaries. But tell me a little bit about your experiences, those that you can remember, of course, and the goings on in the city. And you're part of House Gwydion. You must be one of the only in the city now. What's happened there?
No, nobody reached out to me about the Exodus.
That's very
Feels
surprising.
kind of personal.
I see. Well, I should hope not, but I can always ask around in the court and see what's been going on there.
I have been trying to reach Lord Vincent to arrange a conversation with the ex-Duke, since he has sway in the courts. And
Really?
I don't want to be beholden to Ace.
That's understandable. Do you think he could get access to the ex-Duke? Isn't he held under lock and key with House Ailiel?
If anyone can, it's him.
That's fair.
He's the highest noble I know.
As your conversation goes on, I believe we're going to now transition scenes, but do feel free to write to each other about the contents of the rest of the conversation. Esmeralda.
Yes.
Vincent and Doug invited you to a late lunch.
Okay.
Just seems to be at a cafe, but it seems decent and local, so the food will be good at least.
Yeah, she'll go.
Not outdoor seating. It's fucking December.
Yeah, it's fucking
No
December.
way. But the inside is nice and warm. And Vincent, well, his coat's on, but he's only wearing it in one sleeve because the other arm's in a sling.
I would say since she likely went home before this, she would have grabbed some of the salves that she made based on her grandmother's recipes that helps with, preventing infection, wound healing, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would grab some of those to bring with her.
Okay. And Vincent has a simple mug of tea in front of him. Doug has a mug of tea in front of him.
S will order.
They at least seem to be different teas.
Yeah. S will order some tea and, I don't know, cup of soup.
At the moment, it's chicken noodle.
That's perfect. She actually takes the salves out of her bags and passes it over and says, use these on the wounds. It'll help.
Doug picks them up and half opens a couple and just sniffs them, which, of course, for you looks really both cute and weird at the same time.
They're my grandmother's recipes.
Probably won't work, and he pockets them.
Ass.
Tits.
Yes, I have them, but
while you two banter, Vincent just takes a sip of his tea. He is moving like someone who's recently injured, because even the stuff that clearly isn't injured is slower.
Yeah, and she just looks at him and says, "What happened?"
It's amazing what can happen when you give your driver/assistant a couple days off, to which Doug both looks like, yeah, but also a little bit embarrassed, like fuck, I fucked up my job sort of a thing. Doug had requested a couple days off for some personal matters. I wasn't going to deny him that. There was no reason to. And then in walking somewhere downtown, I had an encounter with Lucifer.
Did you now?
Rather, I can't even call it a drive-by, but I was clipped by that, and luckily survived. I've heard of many who aren't so lucky. But no, it seems to be rather excited at the moment. I think the football game is coming up. I was not the only person hit by it, but the others were humans, and chimerical damage never really takes with them. It looks far worse than it is.
I'm going to suss out if he's lying to me.
All right. Perception empathy or perception subterfuge.
All right, we're going to go.
Difficulty of, which is their manipulation subterfuge's usual difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was his stats again? God damn it.
And I'm detail oriented.
Yes, and it's going to be at a difficulty of 7.
Any tells he has, I'm going to know. All right, so I'm going to use perception empathy.
Welcome to the second part of role-playing games, folks. Math. It's obnoxious, but necessary.
That is 8 successes with exploding 10s.
He is not lying. He is being honest.
Vincent, I'm only going to say this once. That was incredibly fucking foolish of you.
Which part?
Going out walking these damn streets alone when you know that Kith are going missing.
I thought I would be fine and that it would be a short walk, such as my folly.
Exactly. If Doug isn't available, hello, you have my number.
I would have thought you would have said no.
Why would you think that?
You always seem stressed. I didn't wish to add to it.
That's not your choice to make. That's mine.
Noted for future interaction. Detail-oriented is your specialization in that, right?
Yes, it is.
Vincent almost says something and hesitates, and then doesn't say anything. And you can tell it was a noticeable, like...
What were you about to say?
And then Doug leans in. Yeah, Vince, what were you about to say?
S does the same thing.
And Doug's going to use his Puka birthright to see if he can get the truth out of him. All right. I won't share how many questions Vincent has to answer truthfully, but he does have to answer some truthfully. And that was the first one, which...
Does it work for her to ask him the questions? Or does the Puka ask? Okay.
It specifically has to be Doug.
Okay,
Puka
no problem.
So
Doug gets to pepper him with questions now.
Mm-hmm. But the first one that he said was, yeah, what were you going to say?
Mm-hmm.
To which he said, I was going to say that it's nice to know that you don't hate me. There were a couple times where I thought you did. Not even sure why it worries me so much. You see Doug then lean in and say, are you in denial? To which Vincent goes, denial of what? Oh. Hey, Vince. You got a crush on her? And Lord Vincent is going to spend a willpower to not answer.
And S just looks at him and says, that was not a fair question, Doug.
I'm not a fair guy.
I see.
I've also known him for too long to just let small things like that slide.
Excuse us for a moment, Doug. This needs to be a private conversation.
He gets up and heads towards the bathroom.
I do not hate you, Vincent. And those times you thought I didn't hate you then either.
What I find to be the biggest insult to you from that is that I know you don't seem to hate anyone, especially now that I've interacted with you in less dire situations.
I don't even hate the monster stalking me. I hate how he makes me feel, but I do not hate him. Why did you mistake a Chloricon for me?
It was from a great distance, and I did not witness the attempt. I just saw them in a crowd.
Why did you think it was me?
I couldn't see detail. I didn't know the kith that they were. And it was only mistaken for you for a moment. I only can tell you what I saw. I don't know if it was true, what I saw.
Well, I'll tell you exactly why I wasn't in Arizona. I just serendipitously last year was at a wedding of a friend that I knew from high school. Her husband is actually a well-known DJ, EDM performer. And he saw me dance at their reception. When he went on tour, he got her to contact me, got me the gig. I decided to take it with no hesitation because we had just finished up with the Dantean. And you kept surprising me. And I was very confused. So I left to get away from you so that I could think.
Admirable. And probably what I would have done.
But I've come back now. And I'm not confused. You thought you saw me because I've been on your mind. Tell me I'm wrong.
He doesn't say anything.
I thought so. Destiny keeps dragging me to you. I tried to fight it. I don't know what this story's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be a hell of a one. And she sits back and sips her tea.
Oddly enough, Doug comes back at that exact second and sits down and picks up his now lukewarm tea.
So there's an eyewitness that's currently in residence at Lady Swift's house.
Eyewitness?
Yes.
Ooh.
Another Clericon goes by the name of Taylor. I don't suggest you go and try and interrogate him yourself. He has obvious trauma with the Shining Host. I was able to get information from him. He saw the Clericon come into the court that morning when the king was giving the morning report to the court. And she just attacked with a blade that was not obviously cold iron that anyone could tell. Stabbed him directly in the heart. People tried to get her, of course. But she and the blade disappeared when she unleashed Wayfair.
A classic escape maneuver. Damn it all.
I have an idea on how to save the king, since Spring doesn't seem to heal his wounds.
At this, they both lean in, and Vincent winces as he leans in, but still does it anyways. There is a noticeable, like, come again expression to both of them.
Almost to the day I crystallized 20 years ago. I was young. But it wasn't long before, well, my grandfather taught me the rules of the road, as it were, and then he started taking me out on it. And one of the most gorgeous places I saw on our travels, nearby, was the river of Fantasia that corresponds with the Colorado River.
And you actually see a point of recognition in his eyes. The Colorado River.
Goes through Arizona, too. My grandfather educated me on those waters, what they're capable of. If Spring can't heal his wound, perhaps water of pure dreaming can. The court in Arizona needs to send out a group of intrepid adventurers. They need to make sure they have a treasure with them. If it doesn't exist, one needs to be made. That is a container to hold the waters and protect it from the banality of the autumn world. Deliver it to the king.
I have people I can contact in Arizona that can get that group together rather quickly.
I figured you would.
Esmeralda, you're not sure how you can see it because the lighting isn't right for it. But for a moment, Vincent's shadow stretches up backwards on the wall and looks down at you.
She looks at it.
And it gives, not condescending as far as you can tell, it's having to pantomime a lot of it, but there is applause. And you can somehow feel that it's looking at you and not anyone else. And then the shadow shrinks back down to regular
she looks at him
shape.
and says, "Your shadow seems to approve."
Shade enjoys intelligence. God knows why he hangs around me.
You don't give yourself enough credit.
I will give you two things, Esmeralda. A gift and a small explanation. As generic as the term is, I am my worst enemy. I have been the greatest critic, the harshest judge of everything I do, ever since I was a child. And the gift. Speaking of my contacts in Arizona, they are aware of you, your existence. You are not a suspect. Because, and I quote, they don't look similar enough.
Good. Thank you.
So, you are not under any investigation for any political assassination.
That is the preferred state I like to be in.
It is rough to be accused of such as well.
It is.
Sorry, you said this tailor was a Cluricon.
Yes. Male. And she'll give a description.
I will need to ask some people, but I don't believe there's a Cluricon named Taylor in Arizona. I'll do some digging, but that feels inaccurate.
All right.
I'll let you know.
You've got my number.
And you've got mine. And we'll wrap this scene up with one last perception roll, but let's do perception alertness.
Okay. Detail oriented again? Always?
Most of the time, not always.
Difficulty 6?
Mm-hmm.
That's 4.
Ez would know a bit of Roma, wouldn't she?
Yes, very much so.
He says a single word in that language under his breath, hoping you won't hear it. Fascinating. And then Doug helps him to his feet, and they limp out to the vehicle after, of course, saying very respectful and pleasant goodbyes.
Mm-hmm.
Doug also then points to you and says, meet him at his house in a couple days so he can see your spring progress.
Mm-hmm. And she just laughs and says, it's thriving.
And there's a very simple reaction of, mm-hmm.
All right.
And as you and Jolly head back to your home, I'm assuming,
Mm-hmm.
that's where we will wrap up this episode. Thank you all for joining us for episode 5 of season 2 for Changeling Stained Glass. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. Let me get back to my Twitch.
And it's a way for my players to recover a little bit from the barrage of drama that I've been laying at their feet.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening for season 2, episode 5 of Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass. Do join us in our Discord, where we cast this show from and where we have an amazing community of folks that love TTRPGs and a variety of other topics. And we occasionally do have community Zoom hangouts. We really occasionally do off-stream, non-streamed community gaming with things like Blood on the Clock Tower, things like that.
Where no enemies are ever made.
No enemies are ever made. And also, you can just comment on our stuff and you get the first notifications of when we are going live and when things are posted to YouTube. So yeah, enjoy. If you would like to catch back episodes of this, please check out our YouTube page. We have lots and lots of World of Darkness content there, as well as other games such as indie games, some, Modifius games, some, Powered by the Apocalypse games, all sorts of stuff there to peruse for your enjoyment. We've done this for about 5 years, almost 5 years now, so there's tons of stuff there. And of course, we do have a studio merch store linked in chat right now. Make sure you're signed in to a Zazzle account when you check out our merch, because some of it has been put behind an age restriction on it, because we have things like a Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would t-shirt, because in our vampire games, there's a lot of counselors for Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would. Yeah. And we are still in process of working on merch for this game. It will be coming. It will be coming at some point. We just will let you know here on stream when it is. And we will also notify you in our Discord, so make sure you're a part of there. We have some amazing, amazing friends that are streamers on their own channels that we would love for you to check out. Send some love to them from the McStabbers for real. Junie, what you got going on your personal channel, hun?
Well, hi, you guys all know me as Junie. I'm found everywhere. On my personal channel, we do Stitch and Bitch, a drawing, aka merch, maybe finally something gonna happen. And I blow up shit in games. You can also find me on this Trolls channel. You can also find me on Table of Horrors. And I would like to point out, you might want to watch, or at least have your eyes open to the McStabber's Discord, possibly this Saturday for some news.
Yeah.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah, Junie is one of our new STs that is joining us, and she has plans for something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been talking. We've been talking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. News Archon, what you got going on your channel?
Hi, everybody. I played the lovable troll Radari tonight, and I do TTRPG stuff on my channel. We're starting off very slowly, but we do 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So just catch us there. I have a special one-shot planned for tomorrow of Old Gods of Appalachia, which is one of the newest systems that I absolutely adore, and so I'm excited for that. But otherwise, you can catch me here where I get to play nothing but the most lovable of characters every Wednesday, unless I'm running mage.
All right. Y'all, please stop. Okay. Mischievous Red, what you got going on?
Hi, yeah, I stream on my own channels occasionally when life permits, which sometimes it does not, but sometimes it does. And that's typically when it does on Sundays, and I'll play Final Fantasy a lot of times.
Awesome. Awesome. And also in our friends list is Re-Rolls. Go check him out. He's got some really fun, he's got a fun group over at his channel where they play some amazing games on Sundays. In the later evening, they do a D&D campaign. I know they are getting ready to start up a Call of Cthulhu campaign earlier on Sundays. And Mama's going to be in that. So you might want to join me over there. Burn the books. Don't summon the elder things. No, read all the books, summon all the elder shit. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right. And then, of course, if you would like to support our amazing cast and crew of players here at this table, including the amazing ST for Changeling Maddox, legit, so fucking good, you can show off your biddies for that or give a donation. Donations and bits are given to our players. They are not kept by the studio at all. We distribute them amongst the players after we remove taxes because, you know, Uncle Sam's got to get their cut. And yeah, so we do that. If you would like to support the studio itself, myself, Shanky, our production expenses that are a thing, literally you can do so by subscribing here on Twitch. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get 1 free subscription a month that you may consider giving to us. And then also we have a KoFi page, a coffee page. You can buy Mama a coffee. You can even subscribe there where Twitch doesn't take half. So yeah. The nice thing about Twitch subscriptions is it gets rid of the ads for you because the ads are a fucking pain in the ass and we really can't control them. So yeah, you know, so consider either subscription if you would like to support us. All right. And coming up over the next week, we have Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Kansas City, A Domain Divided. Yeah. Yeah. This season has stepped up. It has stepped up, and maybe Bo will be out of torpor now, and there might be a sex club this coming episode. So you know you might want to join us for that.
So are we just going to get mentions of sex club in every splat we run now?
Fuck yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like we're already about to get 2
in a week. Damn, y'all, but. We might get demonetized on YouTube for Friday's session, though. It's a running joke. Since we started War Crime Wednesday with Dark Ages, we joke about what's going to demonetize us on YouTube. Oh, my goodness. And is Call of Cthulhu happening this weekend? I don't know. I haven't checked yet. I'll know by Friday. It's not? Okay. So they are taking a break this weekend. Oh, my goodness. So that's great. So, yeah. And we'll be back here next week on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the next session of Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass Season 2. Yeah. This was a good session, though. There was some good people doing stuff together. It was fun. Yeah. And so, yeah. Speaking of, take care of yourself. Take care of your mental well-being. Reach out to your support network. Know that you are not alone. Please consider that you are not alone and you are not a burden on those that care about you. That is important to remember. But if you are in crisis right now in chat, there is a list of organizations that have phone numbers that you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that you can get the help you need immediately if you are in crisis. And if none of those situations that we list in chat apply, please, or if you live outside of the U.S., go to findahelpline.com. If you're watching on YouTube, that web address is findahelpline.com. Make sure you go there, put in your country of origin. If you're in the U.S., you can put in, I believe, your state and country, and you can pull up resources available to you for crisis support for a variety of different crisis situations. Please get the help you need, please. It's very important. And also, I'm McStabber. I'm a registered nurse. I'm going to tell you, take care of your fucking self, okay? COVID is still a fucking thing. Get your goddamn COVID vaccines. Get your boosters. Do what you need to do. Seriously, get vaccinated for shit. If you are overdue for tetanus, get a fucking tetanus shot. Do you know that tetanus is a fucking royal goddamn pain? For real. Fucking get your tetanus shots. And also, get your checkups. Take care of yourselves. Take your meds. Drink your water. Go get some sunshine if you can. For real. Just take care of yourselves. We want you around for a long time. And unsurprising to anyone, the convicted felon as the nominee for the Republican Party has chosen a man that literally wants women to stay in abusive fucking marriages, as well as not have the right to terminate a rapist baby, as his VP pick. They're showing you who they are, y'all. They're showing you who they are. Fucking register to vote if you aren't registered and you are eligible. If you are registered, check your registration. Make sure it is still accurate and active. And fucking turn out November. Project 2025 is becoming a reality, even though Trump said he knew nothing about it. He's a goddamn liar. Every word that comes out of his mouth. He's a malignant narcissist that wouldn't know the truth if it came up and shot him. Yeah, I said it. So, you know what? That's all I'm going to say about that. It's said with love, because I want y'all to know that if we don't vote blue in November, we are royally fucked, y'all. Yeah. So, have a good night.